Opening up the debate on Newshour Debate number 2, with me in the studio is Professor Kancha Illiah, well-known Dalit activist and author. Nirmala Sitharaman continues on the debate. The Congress Party spokesperson switched here. Abid Rasool Khan, Congress spokesperson, welcome to the debate. Sudhindra Bhadoria of the BSP, Mayawati's party, welcome to the debate. Hartosh Bal stays on. And Rahul Easwar, my first question goes to you. Rahul Easwar is, of course, from the Sabarimala Trust, a young man who is a social activist. Rahul, private sector reservations, you're against it. Why would you say you're against it? The Congress party is going to give a mega push for private sector reservations starting tomorrow. I want you to begin with your opening remarks, which the Congress can then take on. Rahul.
We are all for all kind of help to our people in SC/ST communities and disadvantaged communities for their upliftment and assisting them in their development. But unfortunately, this is just before, on the eve of election, this is posturing for creating some kind of a quota politics and vote bank politics. This is very unfortunate. We had high hopes of Rahul Gandhi, and he is letting us down. And if one person who is alive would have been very sad, it is Ambedkar, who said, let us have reservations for 10 years, and after 60 years of independence, we are trying to extend the reservation in private sector too. Now again the quota game come, again SC/ST reservation will come, OBC reservation will come. When will we start seeing us as Indians first? We are all general Indians first, and don't we think we should give merit a huge place for this? And don't we all know this is again a posturing for elections? Won't the judiciary have reservations against it? Won't the private sector go against it? So it is just a political ploy to appeal.
It's posturing for election. It's 100% hypocrisy, Abid Rasool Khan. 100% hypocrisy and 1000% pure political opportunism by the Congress party. Abid Rasool Khan, you do nothing for all these years. You know you might be losing, and you promise this dream to the people of this country. Divide them forever, more than 2 decades after Mandal once again. Reinforce the idea of caste in the name of equal opportunities. Divide the youth of this country once again and create a situation where people will be afraid even of investing in India as a country which works only on the basis of caste, community and quotas, not on the basis of merit. Why such political opportunism, Abid Rasool Khan? Why?
Arnab,
who will believe you now for it?
Arnab, first of all, there is no political opportunism. It is a responsibility towards the downtrodden and weaker section of this country that we need to do it. Secondly,
so what did you do for it, about it for the last 10 years?
Everything goes through a process, everything comes through a time, and the time has come, opportune time is there.
Really? What was the process? It was in your manifesto in 2004. In 2009, you tried to initiate reservations in the private sector. You said we'll create a national consensus. Where is the national consensus?
Okay, well, I did not want to get this point, but you have brought this point out. Now I would like to say that it is the primary objections of the main opposition to all this scheme that has made them delayed. Now they have.
So the BJP stopped you.
They oppose everything.
The BJP stopped you.
Let me complete it. I never interrupt you, so please don't.
They oppose. No, so they want to respond now. They got their point.
One after the other, we'll talk about it.
They want to respond.
Yes, definitely. I will wait for the response and answer them also. The point here is that there is a responsibility towards the weaker section. There is a responsibility towards the minorities. There is a responsibility towards the Dalit, and all the private sector in their social responsibilities are to take care of all these marginalized societies, which they never do. This is a fact that the budget which is earmarked for the social responsibility is never spent by the private sector, and it is diverted for some other activities. So if a reservation is given, it is a chance for the backward and the marginalized to get a better job opportunity and come up in life. And this is what our party has been committed for, and it is our party's motto that we do inclusive growth.
So Rahul Gandhi woke up after 10 years, is it? So Rahul Gandhi woke up after 10 years. What did Rahul Gandhi do for it for the last 9 years?
He woke up after 10 years.
What did Rahul Gandhi do for it for the last 9 years?
It is the intention which is important. It is.
Why is it not important? It reflects whether you're looking at it in an opportunistic way. Even Kancha Illiah will say that it's important. Kancha Illiah, is this opportunism? Is this hypocrisy?
For the communities.
No, 1 minute. Sir, please do not play your politics over the sentiments, feelings and futures of the young people of this country, including 100 million young voters who are going to vote for the first time. Do not play politics of caste over them. Kancha Illiah, do you support this kind of opportunism?
Well, Arnab, This so far is a speculative question. If Congress is putting this in the manifesto,
yes,
that SC/STs, as you said, have to get reservation in private sector. In fact, they are now going to bring all parties into a major debate, because BJP is now
it's a pointless debate. It's a destructive debate.
No,
it's a debate that goes against the tenets of what Dr. Ambedkar said.
No. See,
it goes against the tenets of what Dr. Ambedkar said.
No. See, you have to understand.
It reduces reservations to a matter of a political gimmick.
No, at least the SC/ST OBCs have come into some sort of a middle class because of the reservation.
No, why don't you say that this is exactly the kind of political?
Where did they affect the merit in public sector?
Have you forgotten, Kancha Illiah? I have great regard for you, very respected and erudite man. But why are you being so selective today in your memory? Have you forgotten that Dr. Ambedkar said reservation is neither a political policy matter, a political gimmick, nor a matter of charity? It is a constitutional obligation. But by turning reservations into an issue of vote bank politics, it is being turned by the Congress party as a political gimmick, a matter of charity, something which you, therefore, as a follower of Dr. Ambedkar, should be opposing. Why are you not being clear on your position to that?
See, you must see that Ambedkar said that this has limited scope for liberation of these people if the land reforms are carried, if the economic reforms are carried, if equal school education is established. Now, today, Narendra Modi is talking about development, right? Development with the support of monopolies. Can they abolish private school system which is English
What's
medium?
the relevance of that? Let Nirmala Sitharaman respond to you on that.
Then, what are they going to tell the OBCs whose votes they are going to seek tomorrow? What are they going to do for them, for their development?
And I'm asking you,
if they don't support reservation.
I'm asking you.
Let BJP say they don't support reservation in private sector.
Well, obviously they won't, because they will go along with what is politically opportunistic themselves. Nirmala Sitharaman will. Let her respond to you.
Let them say that.
Yeah, let her say that.
I'm very grateful that a leader like Kancha Illiah ji, who speaks up for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, who's vociferously argued for their rights, is now ready to ask the BJP all the questions for having failed the people last 10 years and now thinking as though newly to put it again into their manifesto.
What is your position?
No, I will certainly.
What is your position? Do you believe there should be quotas in the private sector?
First question is this part of the Congress's manifesto? We are
100% that is my information. It's coming out tomorrow. No, it is not a matter of speculation. I can confirm this, that senior Congress leaders have told me that they are going to be putting for a major push of affirmative action in the private sector tomorrow. I stick my neck out on that, and I can tell you it's going to be part of the Congress manifesto.
I'll take it as what you've said. My question, therefore, is if the Congress party is so committed, they had 10 golden years when they said growth, and growth is what they're spending time on. That growth was jobless growth. They've left the economy with dwindling jobs. And at this time, suddenly they think of jobs for the Dalits in the private sector. Even the government jobs have not come through. What is the guarantee that you're going to do anything at all in the private sector, given the commitment with which you have produced newer jobs in the last 10 years? Atal Bihari Vajpayee, during his 5 years, gave more than 6 crore jobs. Whereas what
You're
we
again
have
dodging
now,
the question so smartly here. Why don't you just tell us whether you are for,
will tell you what we have to say.
Are you for or against quotas in the private sector? Simple.
Our manifesto will tell you, especially because it's the election
Mr.
time.
Bhadoria?
I will not take away the prerogative of the manifesto to say what it
No,
should
it is
say.
not. You're hiding behind that,
certainly not.
excuse.
Certainly
Mr. Bhadoria, are you for or against quotas in the private sector? And will it not destroy the very idea of merit among the youth of India seeking jobs and opportunities?
Well, first, let me say this. This coming from Congress party is all humbug and farce, because we have seen in the last 65 years they have done little for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, and coming at on the eve of the poll, and particularly when the elections are on, only shows how desperate they have become.
But you are supporting them.
Desperate.
Why couldn't you give them
So are you.
Well,
so are you.
no,
You are
BSP
supporting them as well.
BSP is supporting the UPA, Congress-led UPA. Why couldn't they get them do it in the last 10 years?
You have been always anti-Dalit.
Yeah, please go ahead.
There is no issue about your position on the Dalits.
Don't give me that line, all right? In your 10 years with the UPA, why couldn't you get it done?
Sides of the same
You may title others as anti-Dalits. You could not get the Congress do it for you.
Fundamentally, Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar differed with Mr. Guru Golwalkar. We differ with the Congress party. We have seen how you treated Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar, and so did the Congress party. And let me tell you, the Dalits of this country are not going to be fooled either by both of you. They will stand by Behan Mayawati ji, because we have seen in the last parliament, it was only her who took up the issue of reservations in promotions. Neither of you came out. Finally, when you saw that the mood of the country and the strong effort made by Behan Mayawati ji,
Isn't it shameful, Sudhindra Bhadoria? Isn't it shameful?
I'm sorry, I'm not accepting this,
look at this, Rahul Easwar, look at the point here. Look at the point here. Isn't it absolutely shameful here that right here on the program, on the eve of the election, all political parties are threatening to virtually destroy the future of people of this country in terms of youth and job opportunities, destroy the very idea of merit, run over what...
I'll ask you one question.
Yes, please go ahead.
The question is, can you force the private sector
And I would like to ask one question too.
private medium English?
Can you, are you saying,
go for a uniform school education?
are you saying tomorrow that whether it is a news channel, an organization, media organization, a bank, an airline, in each of these jobs, that you will reserve a certain quota for SCs and STs and still have the concept of merit in this country?
Yes,
and
because I'll tell you, see, Nirmala ji, let her tell me, in our own states where she is ruling.
So will you then also say, let me take...
Gujarat, what is the fate of OBCs in the private sector? Why 52% of the people could not come into any private sector? Because you have a huge gap between education and private education.
Let me ask you,
go for uniform.
is it true or not that due to reservations, hundreds of thousands of positions are lying vacant in the government of India?
Why? Why should they be vacant? They are not recruiting. Exactly. They are not. There is qualified people. I know in IITs, when the old generation professors entered with mere MTech, today they are not even taking SC, ST, BC boys with PhDs. There is a discrimination there.
And therefore you stand here on the side of a political party that wants to introduce the idea of vote banks in the private sector as job opportunities, despite knowing the fact it goes against what Baba Sahib Ambedkar said.
No, as a social reformer, I would stand by whichever political
Rahul Easwar
party,
contradicting you, Rahul Easwar. Yes, Rahul. Listen to
BJP, let BJP say that it won't support.
Arnab ji, I married a girl who is not of my caste. I am telling you a real situation. I married a girl who is not of my caste. You know, what caste will my child be? What is Rahul Gandhi's caste after all? So why do we reinforce the idea of caste?
It doesn't matter.
It was a system of the past. In the India of 21st century, Rahul Gandhi being a youth, please don't reinforce such stereotypes. Please do away with caste. Help all people irrespective of caste and religion. Why do you still want to reinforce the idea of caste in this modern 21st century?
Yes, Abid Rasool.
Divide the people in
Rahul Easwar, the Congress is responding to you. The Congress is responding to you, but before that...
We have a responsibility toward the SC, STs and minorities. We have to see that they come up in life and be equal to the others. That is the responsibility that has been given in the Constitution. The whole idea was to see that they come up economically and be a part of the uniform citizen of India. So we have that responsibility. We are going to do that responsibility, and it is only Congress which has been doing it. Late or not late is a different aspect, but our commitment to that angle is definitely there.
Many of the commitments given in your 2009 manifesto has not been fulfilled, sir. You're coming up with something new now. What is the confidence people
have? Are we not going to say minorities are going to be suffering? That's the reason why we should have reservation in private sector.
If that is the case, then I'm ready for it on whatever point you want me to talk on.
Why should it be that is the case?
Well, my question is very simple as I go into the break. Which other country in the world forces reservations in the private sector at the expense of merit? Hartosh, I know you want to come to the debate. I will come back to this debate. You want to make one small point?
Yeah.
You can make one long point, but on the other side of the break, Kancha Illiah. I take a short break. Welcome back. This is a debate that's really going to pick up now because the Congress party is going to push for a mega reservation scheme for the private sector. Not that it's not promised it before, but the manner in which it's talking about it now and the aggression it's showing in this whole thing and the fact that it's picking it up in tomorrow's manifesto is a reflection of the fact that this could be one last desperate move by the Congress party before the elections. I raised the question here, Abid Rasool. My question today is, A, why didn't you think of this before? B, you have 49% reservations in government jobs. If that has not helped, then how will this help? Thirdly, figures don't add up. You are cheating the people of this country. This is my most important point. 29 million out of the 484 million workforce of this country are part of the organized sector, of which only 11.5 million are employed in the private sector, which is less than 3% of India's total labor force. Do you understand? Only less than 3% of India's total labor force. Therefore, what you're basically doing is Rahul Gandhi is putting a nice big slogan, but Rahul Gandhi knows it will amount to absolutely nothing in terms of real opportunities.
Yeah, Arnab, I will answer.
1 minute. Rahul Gandhi knows it will amount to absolutely nothing in terms of mere opportunities. He's fooling, therefore, the youth of a certain section, of a certain community, of a certain caste or background by putting this whole big slogan. Why are you doing this?
Arnab,
Why are you doing this? I want you to contradict me
I will
on fact.
directly answer your questions. First of all, it is delayed because of reasons which are known to you and to this country. The things, how it was going and how the parliament
specified. You've not been able to prove.
Yes,
you blame the BJP.
I'm not blaming. I'm not even taking their party. Why are they getting defensive about it? I did not name their party also. I said how the parliament was functioning, how things
you're blaming everyone else but yourself.
You said opposition.
Secondly, we have provided reservation.
Don't say something and skip away from it.
Let me
You
complete
said
it.
opposition.
You take your time and counter it, Nirmala ji. Now the second point is the youth who have studied, who have come out of the degrees and who have come out of the universities, they need this exposure in the private sector to become better citizens and better pay earners in this country. Thirdly, I would like to put a question back to Nirmala ji on the part of reservation. When you had two judicial commissions which said that the minorities are the backward of the lot and they are even backward than SC/ST, and in Andhra Pradesh when we gave 4% reservation, that too in the OBC without cutting the reservation of the higher upper community, there, why does BJP go to court and fight it out and say that we will not give it when two judicial commissions have given it?
Okay, we're getting a quick response. I think she got your point. Nirmala Sitharaman to respond
the point is very clear. When we have a survey, they don't accept
competitiveness.
No, hold on for a minute. You yourself have referred to an issue of religious reservation based on religion, and that's what is in the code. No, hold on.
It is socio-economic.
Don't misrepresent the facts.
Don't misguide the country. It is socio-economic reservation, not religious reservation.
Will you allow me to finish now that you've thrown quite a few of misleading facts? First, you said opposition, and in the opposition, BJP is sitting there as the principal opposition party.
What is your position?
And then you suddenly tell me, no, I didn't name the BJP. Don't skip, You've said, you allow me to talk, sir. Allow me to talk. Allow me to talk. Hold on. So you said opposition, then you skip. Second, you talk about a reservation policy in Andhra Pradesh. You brought it in and the High Court rejected. You've gone on appeal. The matter is still pending in the Supreme Court. Let's not discuss something which is so sub judice, but still I will tell you. The point on which we're talking. The point on which you are. No, hold on, sir. You hold on, sir, for a minute. Even your law minister went to his wife's constituency and gave a false promise which was not even in your manifesto in the Uttar Pradesh elections, talking about reservation, religion-based reservation, which goes against the spirit of the Constitution. So don't divert. Come to the point of reservation in private sector.
You are against the backward.
4 minutes to the debate.
The minorities and you do not want
when private sector has just 11.5 million jobs as against 29 million government jobs, what is the point that this party or that party is wanting to go to private sector reservation? I'll tell you.
Because it's a nice
What is
slogan.
the way, if not reservation, let private sector tell me what is the way in which it wants to become inclusive. You see, the whole money of the nation is concentrated here. Once one manager in a private sector gets 5 lakh salary, and another manager in a public sector gets only 1.5 lakh like a professor. Now this private sector holding it for its own few castes.
So I think,
we want to
I
break
think that's
it
a
in principle.
really restricted, narrow-minded view of looking at things.
No.
Kancha Illiah.
No.
The
Give
fact
them
of the
fish,
matter is
teach
there
them
have been
fishing.
several pay commission revisions. Government salaries are certainly going up. There is up to 49% reservation. Hundreds of thousands of jobs have not been taken up.
People in this 1.5 lakhs.
People,
there are 5 lakhs, 6 lakh jobs.
Can you
packages in private sector.
do you deny that less jobs are being created, that there's a 2% rise in unemployment, that there are young people out there, hugely qualified young people who cannot pass examinations and find themselves
but
jobs?
you are asking
Will
the
you
merit
now
question.
tell those
you are
people?
asking the merit question, but the point is
I'm
let the
asking-
political parties make the private sector responsible to the society.
Is the question
what is the way?
is the question of merit not important? I would say to the Congress party
sector is
before
responsible
they
for society.
before
From the school
before the
education.
Congress.
Where does it stop?
I would say I would say to the Congress parties, Rahul, 1 minute, that before you think about bringing in one more quotas for the private sector, why don't you remove the dynasty quota? That the children of big politicians will get a quota within the Congress party. Do you have the courage to remove that quota first? Remove that quota and then bring in a private sector quota.
Can I respond?
Let
What
all
about
the
people like
Dioras
Janardhan
and
Dwivedi?
Scindias and pilots and Gandhis and all the other dynasties not get a family quota in the Congress party? Rahul Easwar is taking you on race. Rahul Easwar,
Arnab.
2 minutes on the debate. Rahul.
What about people like Janardhan Dwivedi who came out in open and said reservation is a thing of past? We had high hopes on him. We thought Congress is going through a generational shift. They will stop playing such kind of quota politics. He was giving hope. But, see, again, it is all back to square one. And private sector is responsible. I work in private sector, corporate sector. We are doing a lot for society. And we don't look at caste and religion. We go to poor people. We help them in uplifting. We go to schools. We go to colleges. We help them in education, employment. And please stop giving them fish. Teach them fishing.
Sudhindra Bhadoria, one second.
Make them employable rather than bypassing the question of merit.
Hartosh, do you think the fault is also of the BJP tonight? Which is, and of the BSP, which is only criticizing the Congress party but not taking a position on where they stand themselves on the whole issue of quotas?
Arnab,
Nirmala Sitharaman has dodged the question 3 times on the Newshour tonight. Hartosh.
Obviously, they will dodge the question. Let me just clarify that there are 2 separate issues we are debating. Reservations in the private sector, I think, is an issue that needs to be considered. You have to look at criteria. You will have to look at procedure. I think the media, for example, will benefit tremendously from looking at reservation. But the question is the method by which the Congress is trying to bring in these reservations. What happens when this becomes a plaything for politics is what we've just seen happen. You look at OBC reservation, the reservation has been announced for Jats, which can never be justified by any criteria that you set up. But which political party has opposed it? And why are political parties today silent? It is the perversion of this kind of reservation that happens when political parties start using it to manipulate votes. That is the problem. Not reservation itself. The private sector certainly needs to consider reservation. It is an important tool in the way we look at our country, in the kind of injustice that exists. I mean, in the media.
I think
what is wrong if they put in the manifesto and
See,
put
it is
for the
easy to
electoral
throw
debate?
words like
That is the only way.
My question is this: if they want to put it in the manifesto, after having been in power for 10 full years,
What is your position? What is your
I
position?
want to ask them
What is your
are the
position?
answer
Is to
your
asking counter
position.
question. What is your position?
I've clearly said
What is your position?
Yeah.
I've very clearly said wait for a few more days. Our manifesto
for
will
or
tell you.
against
Why
it?
should I say it now?
You're going to race with them on it.
Arnab.
The manifesto will say it. But my pertinent question to the party is, why do you put it in the manifesto now,
We
having
put
not
it into
initiated
the manifesto
any
because that is what we
action
believe in,
the last 10
Nirmala
years?
ji.
That
You
shows that
try
you're
to
playing around with
understand
it rather than
a
genuinely
child
wanting to
from a
implement
government
it.
school, when he goes to an interview in a corporate, does he get an equal playing field with the person educated from a public school? You need to understand that.
and you
A child
discover
from a
this-
government, a child from a
and you
minority
discover this
community.
Sudhindra Bhadoria's last
education.
Does he get an equal playing
Make
field
them
in the public
employable.
school?
Who is against
No, 1 second. Do not tell me, first remember there is one thing of procedure. We began the Newshour debate today by the Congress party saying, technically speaking, you can't stop Ashok Chavan from getting a ticket. Well, technically speaking, Mr. Congress spokesperson, you could not have had a quota for Jats because the government went against the OBC panel's advice and included the list for the central quota because it would affect 9 states sending 8 crore Jats, with 8 crore Jats sending 226 members to the Lok Sabha.
Arnab ji.
You were desperate to woo voters.
No,
That's why you're
absolutely
bringing all
wrong.
these factors in.
that
it's your
chart
political
reservation
desperation.
was
Come on,
also
Mr.
in the
Abid Rasool,
OBC in
please
the
see
9th
to it.
state. It is
Sudhindra
not over and
Bhadoria,
above the
will this
49th
work?
Well, you see, as far
Sudhindra
as
Bhadoria, will this
there is
work
a
or will you race
politics
with the
behind
Congress?
all this, and we understand, as far as the principal position of reservations is concerned, BSP and our leader, Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar, very clearly stated in his book, Annihilation of Caste, that in order to do away with the caste system, you definitely need to bring in provisions.
Ambedkar.
And these people do not believe in affirmative action. We are the only party and the political instrument which want to carry this whole tradition forward. This is all a lip
Ambedkar.
service by both BJP and Congress.
Ambedkar said,
Ambedkar
do
said
not
for 10
reduce
years.
reservations to a political
This is
gimmick.
not-
This debate will
Certainly
continue
not.
tomorrow on whether that's happening.
Sir, as far as
And I'm going to come. I thank you all for taking part in debate number 2, debate number 3 on the other side of a short break on the Newshour tonight.